going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video I am going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played, Watford, away from home. Just before I start today's video, guys, I wish you a Merry Christmas and I hope you guys have a great day, and I wish you all the best for 2020. So nevertheless, let's just get straight into today's video. So it was an unchanged team from the last game against Everton. Talk about the starting 11. So he started with De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay, Fred, James Lingard, Rashford and Martial. Overall reaction: dreadful, disappointing, awful, absolutely embarrassing. I'm fucking annoyed. Shit result. Why are we getting beat to a team that are 20th? We bottled it last week, we bottled it again. Fucking sort this shit out. We are so inconsistent. Get a proper manager in, please. No messing about, guys. What did I make of the performance? It was a shit, shocking, dreadful, disgraceful, disappointing, awful, and an absolutely embarrassing performance out there against Watford last night. That is the most shittest performance I have seen this season so far, while Solskjaer's been in charge this season. That was the fucking poorest I've ever seen us play. I mean, firstly, I want to start off by saying, Watford, you were absolutely fantastic, and you won. Fair play, 2-0. You deserved it. You were the better team at the end of the day. Stats-wise, you weren't the better team, but overall, you were the better team. You got the win, and you got the 3 points on us. So fair play to Watford, firstly. But secondly, United were just absolutely embarrassing to watch. Absolutely disgraceful to watch. That was the poorest performance I have seen Manchester United pull off this season. I mean, fuck's sake. We've played City, we've beat them. We've played Spurs, we beat them. We play Leicester, we beat them. We draw to Liverpool, you know? And we're beating these bigger teams, but we can't turn up for these lesser teams. And the reason why it's all going wrong for us at the moment is because we've got such a weak mentality in this team at the minute. A weak mentality, a weak mindset, and these players are not improving. I keep hearing these players are improving. They're not improving. If you watch Everton and Watford, there's no improvement in that team. I can guarantee you there is no improvement because they keep coming out saying, we're improving, we're improving, we're improving. We're not improving. If we're improving, show me that we are improving this team right now, because we're not improving. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to come out saying we're improving, show me that improvement. You know, they keep comparing Mourinho and Solskjaer, and from when we both had shite starts, right? And Mourinho is probably doing a little bit better so far than Solskjaer, and you know, the thing is as well, they gave Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the job because he was a club legend at the club. He understands the club, he knows the club, and they're obviously going to give him time. Never mind about that. We have lost to Watford, the team that are 20th, and it's dreadful. You know, they've got Nigel Pearson in charge. Watford are a team that cannot get going this season, and we're dropping 3 points to Watford. That's embarrassing. Straight down embarrassing. We can't beat Watford. We can't beat Everton. We can't beat Southampton. We can't beat Crystal Palace. They're teams that we should be beating. If we want to get top 4, they're the teams that you should be beating. We've got Newcastle coming up on Boxing Day. We've got to beat Newcastle. We've got Burnley coming up as well next week. We've got to beat them as well. Show me that improvement. If you want to show me that we're improving, show me that improvement on Thursday. Because we are not improving right now. I'm sick to death of watching our players going through all this crap and shit that we're going through at the minute. I'm sick to death of it because these players are not improving. I keep hearing we're improving, we're not. Harry Maguire came out last week against Everton and he said, we'll keep improving. We are not improving. We are not improving. If we're improving, show me that fucking improvement. I'm sick to death of it. Every single fucking week I'm hearing it, improving. The word annoys me. We're not improving. We're not improving. If we're improving, show me that fucking improvement on Thursday. Honestly, these players are dreadful to watch at the minute. I'm not going to talk about that performance because it was absolutely shite. Absolutely embarrassing to watch. Watford as well. I mean, fuck's sake, they're out of form. That's their second win. This is a team that lost 8-0 to Man City, and we're getting beat by them. Absolutely embarrassing. These players have got to take a long, hard look at themselves. Absolutely embarrassing. The performance on a whole was shocking. Absolutely shocking. Dreadful. Disgrace. The attitude was absolutely awful. The work rate on and off the ball was absolutely awful. Shocking. Shocking. The only best player that was out there was Pogba. And that's a player that no one doesn't want him. And he's been linked to moving away as well. Pogba was the only one that had a go. How embarrassing is that? You know? Sick to death of it. We take about 20 players with us, and one of them players stood out in that game. Absolutely embarrassing. First half, straight down, was poor. No atmosphere, flat, crap performance, lacklustre once again. We were dreadful. I mean, Watford especially, you know. We should be beating teams like Watford. If we want to get top four, we have to be beating them. Never mind what they do against us. Focus. Concentrate. What the fuck are the tactics? What the fuck are the game plans? It's the mentality in this team, because they're a young team. They still can't even beat fucking lesser teams. I've said it. Draw to Southampton. Lost to Crystal Palace. Draw to Everton. Get beat by Watford. It sums everything up for us against these lesser teams. We are shocking against them. It's like when Arsene Wenger's reign at Arsenal. It's not good enough. We're going backwards all the time. We might have beaten Tottenham, we might have beaten City, we might have beaten Leicester, we might have drawn to Liverpool. They're good results. But on the other half, they're not good results. Show me that improvement on Thursday. Sick to death of this. Absolutely sick to death of it. Not going to talk about that second half because we were dreadful, we were shocking. And, I mean, we give them a bloody clean sheet as well. A bloody clean sheet as well. They've not had one clean sheet, and that's their first one against us. Those players should be hurt. Those players should be ashamed of that result. Simply not good enough from these players. These players are a joke. If you cannot play for Man United, get out of this club. Get out in January. It's coming up, the January transfer window. If you don't want to play for Manchester United, piss off. Get rid. Go. Just get rid of them. If you can't play for United, piss off. Piss off. I don't want these players coming into my team that they can't perform against these lesser teams. If you can't perform, piss off in January, because I don't want to see you. You have got to be fighting. You've got to be showing passion, pride. You got to play for the badge. You got to play for the club. You got to show fight. Where was that character? Where was that work rate? Where was that movement? Where was that quality? None of it was there. Absolutely none of it was there in that game. Absolutely shocking. Absolutely poor. Sick to death of it. These players need a good hiding. Sick to death of this shit all the fucking week against these lesser teams. Get a grip now, and we've got to go and beat Newcastle, without a doubt. What went wrong? Everything went wrong for me. I mean, we might have been doing all right defensively in the first half. Wan-Bissaka was putting in some good tackles, and then he goes and gives away a stupid penalty. I mean, he knows he can't do that, and I think that's twice that he's done that this season as well. Not only it's just the defence that went wrong today. Midfield, shocking. There was no creativity. That midfield was awful as well. We kept on giving away possession, too many fucking mistakes, and the attack was awful, dreadful. Ben Foster had a game of his life, which you shouldn't be giving him as well. Ex-United player, shouldn't be giving him his game of his life. You've got to be putting him under pressure, and we were not good enough in that attack. It was the quality in front of goal as well. We may have had a few good chances on goal, but we didn't take them once again, and that sums up everything again for us at United as well. With the attack, no change there in the attack. There was just no fight, no passion, no heart, no pride. Didn't play for the badge, didn't play for the club. No character, no movement, no flair. Work rate was poor on and off the ball. Quality in front of goal. Everything went wrong, top to bottom in this club. Everything went wrong, and just goes to show of how much work Ollie's got to work with these young players. I don't give a shit if they make mistakes. You should be doing better than that. To be fair, I mean, look at Frank Lampard, what he's done with Chelsea. He's got them playing at a system as well, and these lot think it's a fucking piss take, and they think, and they're not bothered for these lesser teams. If you, I just said it. If you don't want to play for Manchester United, go, because I'm not having players that are not showing fight, passion, pride, and they're not showing any heart in this club. And if you're not doing any of those things, get out in January, because I don't want you in my football club. I want my football club to go forward, and we're not going forward. That's 2 steps back now. I said it in my last video. We go on a roll. We win, and then we dip. Then we win, and then we dip. Got to be consistent. When are we going to be consistent? I don't fucking know, until we sort shit out, really, as well. Sick to death of this. Everything went wrong in the game, from top to bottom. De Gea made a stupid mistake. I mean, fucking hell. You're the most paid goalkeeper out there, and you're making mistakes like that. I mean, fucking hell. If I was the manager, I'd dock your wages for that. Honestly, I would, because that was shocking, De Gea. And I mean, you've got to keep your chin up after that. But that was dreadful, De Gea. You've got to be doing better than that as well. You're the most paid goalkeeper, and probably the top goalkeeper in the world as well. And you're the most, and you're the world's most paid, or whatever you are, goalkeeper in the world. You've got to prove that, and you can't be making mistakes like that. I know you have mares in your time, and you make mistakes in your career as well, but fucking hell. I mean, the attacker didn't even make clear contact. The ball went down onto the ground, and then it went up into the corner. De Gea usually saves those type of things as well. It's not good enough from De Gea. Second goal was just poor by Wan-Bissaka. It was playing well up till then, and then he just gives away a stupid daft penalty. Stupid. And then that summed everything up for us. Why are we getting beat to a team that are 20th? We've just went in with a weak mindset, weak mentality. Players weren't ready. They might be doing all right in training and camp, but we don't know what's going on in training. And but the reason why we're getting beat to a team that are 20th was because, firstly, they outdid us. They outclassed us. They outpassed us. Well, they probably didn't outpass us, but they outclassed us, and they outclassed a team that have won 20 trophies as well. You know, these players should be hurt after that. If you are not hurt, get out of this club. Simple as. You know, you play for Manchester United. It's a big club. We should be getting top 4, and we're playing like this shit all the time. Sick to death of this shit. And the reason why we lost to a team that's 20, to be fair, I'm going to say it right now. When West Brom got relegated, we lost that game, I think 1-0. Then we lost to Cardiff at the end of last season. Happened again, and now it's happened again now. So it's not only just happened one time; it's happened 3 times to us. It's not good enough, and these things happen when we go on poor run of form, and we're not consistent enough. Ollie, get these players back to being consistent, please, because we're not going to get anywhere until we improve this team. Don't come out saying we're improving, because we're not. Straight down, we're not improving. So you got to prove to me if we're improving. You know, you've got to prove to me if we're improving. Go and win against Newcastle. You know, simple as, straight down. When are we going to improve this team? I don't know. The team have got to improve right now. To be fair, we should be improving week in and week out, but we're not. We beat Tottenham, we beat City 1 week. The other week, we draw to Everton. We lose to Watford. That's not improving. You beat 2 teams in the top 4 from last season, top 6 in fact. Then you go and lose to teams that are sat in the fucking relegation, and teams that are sat mid-table. If you can't beat those type of teams, I tell you what, it's the mindset and it's the mentality. I'm sick to death of it with these players. They're not preparing well for these games as well, and the coaching staff is just they don't have a clue what they're doing as well. The coaching staff, and they're clueless as well. To be fair, who stood out in the game? Pogba. Pogba was the only one. How do we turn it around for Newcastle? God knows, but it's got to be a better performance. Got to be high pressing. Got to show the intensity, the tempo, the fight, the fluidity, the energy. Create chances, put the chances away. But there's a lot behind it. Got to get the game plan and the tactics right. And that's how you turn things around for Newcastle. Getting into the stats now, possession-wise for Watford it was 36.1%, and for Man United it was 63.9%. I mean, we had most of the possession, we controlled the game, but we couldn't beat Watford. Poor. Goals for Watford it was 2, and for United it was no goals. Simple, down, straight as. Total shots for Watford it was 11, and for Man United it was 17. Total shots on target, Watford only had 3 and they scored 2 goals. And for Man United we had 8 shots on target. Shot accuracy for Watford it was 27, and for Man United it was 41.1%. Shots inside the box for Watford it was 8, and for Man United it was 10. Shots outside the box for Watford it was 3, and for Man United it was 7. Total passes for Watford it was 313, and for Man United it was 562. Pass accuracy for Watford it was 66.8%. Man United it was 84.2%. Substitutions, James went off for Green. We'll talk about Dan's performance. Provided an early cross for Anthony Martial, but was nigh on anonymous after that. Substituted before the hour mark. James was poor. Lingard went off for Pogba. Talk about Lingard's performance. Missed a pivotal 1-on-1 at 0-0 when he casually opted for the dink. Epitomised the complacency of this United side. Substituted for Paul Pogba. McTominay went off for Mata. Talk about McTominay's performance. Solskjaer urged him to calm down with his passing, and for the second week running, McTominay's limitations against fodder were exposed. Substituted. Onwards and upwards. Newcastle next. Now Newcastle are 9th in the table. To be fair, I'm going to start off saying, to be fair for me, Newcastle are just in better form for me. They've beaten teams in mid-table as well. They're beating teams who we couldn't beat, and that's the likes of Sheffield, Southampton and Crystal Palace. Newcastle, for me, are doing quite well now under Steve Bruce. They may have had a slow start to the season. They may have had some daft old results. They keep getting that odd daft result when they go on a good run, because they beat Sheffield, they beat Southampton, then they lost to Burnley, and then they just won again on the weekend. They do well and then they drop off. I'll tell you what, against Newcastle, I'll tell you one thing now. They're coming here with nothing to lose. They know what happened at the beginning of the season. They beat us 1-0. And that was because we had injuries, but at the end of the day you can't be blaming injuries. You've got to be blaming the players that were played out there on the day and that didn't get the result and didn't come out with the right result. Against Newcastle the first time round, there's no excuses for that whatsoever. This time round we've got to put it right. We're at home this time. Newcastle are going to be away from home. They're doing all right away from home as well, especially. I mean, they might be doing all right so far, Newcastle, because they've only been scoring 1 goal a game recently, and they're also conceding just over 1 goal as well, so they're not doing as bad. And I've also written down here, United beat Tottenham and Man City, treated Everton and lost to Watford on the weekend. And the thing is as well, Newcastle have got confidence coming up against us as well. They'll be going full force, they've got nothing to lose, and they're going to be giving it everything. I mean, everyone's probably going to say, I can't see us winning. Look on the bright side, I mean, we've got to improve this team firstly. The players have got a shorter space of time to turn it around. If we want to win this game, we've got to come out quick. We've got to look a lot more sharper on the ball. The movement needs to be a lot more quicker. We need to play with energy. We need high intensity, high tempo in our play. We've got to be sharp on the ball. The movement needs to be a lot more quicker. The transition from defence to attack needs to be a lot more quicker. We need the quality in front of goal. We need to find that last pass. We need to find the end product. And we've got to put chances away. And if we can't put chances away, that pretty much sums up everything for us at the minute. I mean, Newcastle, they have an alright team. They've got some very good players. They've got a lot of quality in there. You don't want to write them off though as well. We only just beat them 3-2 last year. Like I said, you don't want to write them off. Anything can happen. against this Newcastle team, because they're doing all right now under Steve Bruce. He's got them playing at a system, he's got them back playing well. I think United, on the other hand, they're in for a long game. I think I was going to say we have to be patient for the goals, but we need to score goals thick and fast really against Newcastle. People may think this might be easy against Newcastle. It's not, because it's 8th and 9th really. We've got to react. These players have got to react in a week. We've got a busy schedule. We've got to win. Without a doubt, we've got to beat them. If we can't beat them, then just get out my football club if you can't perform. We've got to make sure we perform against them. We've got to make sure we come in with the right mindset and the right mentality. We've got to prepare well. Physically as well, mentally and physically, we've got to prepare well. We've got to make sure that we have to beat Newcastle. If we don't beat Newcastle, that pretty much sums up everything for Manchester United so far this season against these lesser teams. And you've got to be beating these lesser teams if you want top 4 as well. It's not good enough. They might have got a good result against City the other week where they drew 2-2. Still not good enough. We've got to be beating teams like Newcastle. They're not coming to Old Trafford for pissing around. They want to win this game. They're going to be going for it from minute 1 to minute 90, so we've got to be on our A game. Defensively, we've got to be rock solid, got to keep it tight at the back, got to be compact. Midfield wise, we need the creativity. We've got to move the ball a lot quicker. We've got to be a lot more sharper. The work rate needs to be there. We need to show the character, the fight, the passion, the pride, heart as well. It's all got to be there against Newcastle if we want to win this game. We've got to win this game without a doubt. It's going to be a tough game. Newcastle have got some very good results against us over the years, but we've got to make sure we get one back on them after what happened earlier on this season. But now that we've got most of our team back that are not injured now as well, I think it's all about, he needs to pick the right team, he needs to put the players in the right positions, he needs to balance the team out right, the structure in the team needs to be right, we need depth in the team, and he needs to select the right formation for the game as well. The last time Man United beat Newcastle was on Sunday the 7th of October 2018, and it ended 3-2 to Manchester United. What a game that was as well, especially. The last time he lost at home against Newcastle was on Saturday the 7th of December 2013, and it ended 1-0 to Newcastle. The players to look out for is Williams, Key, Shelvey, St Maximin, Almiron, Atsu, Carroll, Joelinton and Dwight Gale. Hope you guys are enjoying another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new. See you guys in a video in the next couple of days, and peace.